And so we have this set of principles in Heart Sync Ministry that can help identify every core aspect of a person's heart and help work with them till they're all brought into loving relationship with God. And what I love about that is it helps us fulfill this, what Jesus called the sum of the law and prophets. And you know that, right? Love the Lord your God with all of your heart and all of your soul and all of your mind with all of your strength. So if we can get our heart right, we can love others like He would love them, and we can walk in whatever it is He's ordained for us to do. The four essential core parts that I saw in every person and that I see in every person are that everybody has a side of their heart that does the daily functioning of life. We have a side of our heart that does that holds unresolved negative emotion. It does joyful emotion. And then in the middle of that, there's a part of the heart and the mind that wants to regulate for pain. So I call that a guardian, acts as a guardian to shut emotion down when emotion starts to become overwhelming. And that's where we get into trouble, right? So we get part of our heart shut off, and we don't have that available to God or to commune with God. And then in a lot of people, I observed and then discovered that it was universal to all people again, what I call the true self. You know, when we talk about the four core parts of the heart, where it gets interesting is when people have experienced severe trauma in their life. And you can see this in the people that you relate to. Some people haven't experienced very much trauma, but some people have been incredibly traumatized in their life. And when they have, the core parts can subdivide even further or create extensions. You know, and I use the word parts because David used that word in Psalm 51. Lord, you desire truth in the inward parts.
There's these traumatic experiences that we just suppress. They go into this emotional part of the heart, and they're just so painful. They're just so painful that the guardian's job is to keep us out of re-experiencing that pain. So the guardian's job is to lock that thing as far away as possible. But in doing so, it also means that's no longer available to be healed by God, dealt with by the Lord. And the more trauma we have, the more of our heart is being literally taken offline. This is why I'm a big advocate for inner healing in 100X. In our movement of kingdom entrepreneurs, we don't just teach entrepreneurship. We don't just teach marketing. We just don't teach kingdom principles. We are committed to seeing our members get their hearts healed. Listen carefully and open your heart.
Yeah.
Drink in the wise revelation that I impart. This life in the kingdom is not purely a cerebral experience. This is not just about the mind. This is not just about the brain. This is not just about understanding scriptures and principles. This is about experiencing. It says wise revelation is to be drank in and received and through the opening of the heart. And we can't have our heart 1/3, 2/3, 70, 80, 90+% shut down because of wounds, past wounds, trauma, rejection.
I think it's wonderful for this group, this audience, to immerse themselves in this wisdom. I'll tell you what, I hope I'm allowed to say this, but we went ahead and joined the 100X acceleration. And one of the things we talked about, Pedro, was, it's not like we needed another thing to do. But what we said was we really need to insert ourselves in this mentality for a while. Like this really is speaking to our hearts. Take advantage of it, would be my message. Take advantage of this message, apply the lessons. In my context, get your heart as cleaned up and as whole as possible so you can walk out your unique gifting and your destiny.